Before we get into today's video, I just want to mention that my Discord server is now up and running. You can find the link in the comments and in the description below. In my server, you can post your fashion, your weapon rolls, your armor rolls. If you just want to have general discussions, if you're trying to find LFGs, it's whatever you'd like. I'm definitely trying to grow a small little knitted community with all my subs and eventually grow it to, a big knitted community. So if that's something that interests you, definitely feel free to hit that invite link. You can also invite all your friends if they would like to join. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the video. Alright boys, in today's video, I want to talk about some exotic armor pieces for the Warlock that I believe to be absolute must-haves for Void 3.0. Now we don't know the full extent of how Void 3.0 will work, but they have given us little bits of information that we can use to assess what exotics will be good or not. For example, we know that we're getting a new ranged melee attack called Pocket Singularity. It states here that we'll be launching a tracking unstable ball of void energy that detonates when it nears an enemy, pushing them away from the blast and making them volatile. We also know one of the aspects we're getting, which is called Child of the Old Gods. It states here, upon crafting a rift, it will summon a sentient black hole which hovers at your side, waiting for a target. It will launch itself at enemies, then begin siphoning their energy and weakening them, refunding their life force back to you as either grenade or melee energy if you're using a healing rift, or health if you're using an empowering rift. Defeating enemies who are being siphoned by the child will refund some rift energy. So with this information in mind and our current knowledge on Void Walker, let's go ahead and talk about some of the exotics I believe to be our must-haves for the new Void 3.0 changes. First exotic on my list is Skull of Dire Ahamkara. Now what this exotic does is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We get the armor perk called Actual Grandeur, provides additional damage resist during Nova Bomb. Nova Bomb kills grant super energy, and that is the main point of this exotic. You want to get a lot of Nova Bomb kills. Actually, I think you only really need like 3 or 4 Nova Bomb kills, and you get about half of your super energy back. So if you like Nova Bomb, you like spamming Nova Bomb, and you want to use it a lot, and maybe we get some changes to Nova Bomb in Void 3.0. Maybe we go back to Scatter. I believe that's what it was called, Scatter in Destiny 1, where instead of one big Nova Bomb, it's like 3 small Nova Bombs, and we like kind of scatter them across the battlefield. Maybe we get that back. If so, this would be a fantastic exotic for Void 3.0. Next on my list, and the exotic that I am the most excited to use with Void 3.0 is Nezarec Sin. Now what this armor perk does is pretty simple again. We get the armor perk called Abyssal Extractors. Void damage kills increase ability energy recharge rate. And if you notice, it just says void damage, not void weapon damage or just strictly void ability damage, just any type of void damage. So if we're going to use a void weapon, on top of that we have a new ranged melee attack. We have the Child of the Old Gods little sentient black hole, and anything, just our regular grenade in general. We're going to get tons and tons of void damage kills, which is going to allow us to span our abilities even further. So which is why I'm going to use this exotic, probably going into Witch Queen, and then of course once we have to level up, I'll probably switch off of it. But this is the exotic that I'm going to probably main for all of Void 3.0 because I'm very excited for all these new ability changes. I love ranged melee attacks, and the fact that we get to summon a sentient black hole, it just sounds so cool to me. So yeah, definitely farm yourself up a nice Nezarec Sin. Next up, and this is an exotic definitely more for PvP, we have Astrocyte Verse. Now we get the armor perk Move to Survive, blink further and more frequently. Weapon readies quickly out of blink and radar remains up. So knowing that Void Walker is the only subclass in the game that actually has blink, if you're a PvP player and you really like using blink, hell, even if you're a PvE player and you really like using blink, this might be a must-have for you. For me personally, I probably won't really worry about it because 1, I suck with blink, and 2, I don't really play PvP that much, so I'm not really going to worry about it. But if you like using blink and you like using void, there you go, get yourself a nice Astrocyte Verse. Next up we have my personal favorite exotic, Claws of Ahamkara. Again, another extremely simple exotic. It just gives you an additional melee charge. But honestly, I love melee builds for Warlock, especially when it's ranged melee like Shadebinder or Middle Tree Arc, Middle Tree Stormcaller. So I love ranged melee attacks, and the fact that we're getting a void ranged melee attack, I want to be able to spam it as much as possible. Moving on, we have Controverse Hold. Now wearing this armor piece will grant you the armor per Chaotic Exchanger. Resist incoming damage while charging your Void Grenade with Chaos Accelerant, Feed the Void, or Handheld Supernova. Charge Void Grenades return an amount of grenade energy on a hit. Assuming that they won't remove the ability to charge your grenades, which I don't really think they would do that, this will be a fantastic exotic for any type of grenade build because you simply get grenade energy on landing a hit with a grenade. You don't necessarily have to kill anybody. This is already an S tier exotic, and it'll probably get even better once Void 3.0 releases. Next on my list, we have Necrotic Grip. This grants us the armor per Grasp of the Devourer. Damaging combatants envenoms them with poison that deals increasing damage over time. Defeating a poison combatant spreads the condition to nearby targets. I cannot stress how good this exotic is going to be once Void 3.0 releases. Our new ranged melee attack actually makes enemies become volatile, which means that once they take enough damage, or once they die, they will explode, causing damage to nearby targets. So with Necrotic Grip in mind, we're going to land a ranged melee attack, which is going to make them become volatile, and put that poison effect on them, which is going to increase his damage over time. Once they die, or once they take enough damage, they're going to explode, which is going to cause damage to nearby enemies, and put that poison effect on nearby enemies, which is going to cause them to die, and then spread it even further. So this is going to be such an amazing exotic, and I cannot wait to use it with Void 3.0. And lastly, we have Nothing Manacles. This allows us to have an additional scatter grenade charge, and it also enables tracking for the scatter grenade projectiles. I highly doubt that Bungie would remove scatter grenades, and I think that scatter grenade is actually the best Void grenade. So the fact that now you get 2 charges and it enables tracking, on top of all the changes you're getting for Void 3.0, this is going to be another S tier exotic, guys. You have to get this exotic. So there it is. That is my whole list of exotics that are must-haves for Void 3.0. You can get some of these exotics from doing Legend Lost sectors or Master Lost sectors. You can also get exotic drops very easily from doing Nightfalls. I believe this week specifically, it is doing double Nightfall loot, so it might not be a bad idea to hop in there and get some drops, because you're going to want these exotics for Void 3.0. I believe that is going to feel a lot better than when Stasis came out, because when Stasis came out, we didn't have exotics that were specifically made for Stasis, as opposed to Void. We have like Controverse Hold, Nothing Manacles, and all the other exotics I listed. These are specifically made for Void. So once these changes come out and once Void 3.0 is here, we're going to be able to create some nasty builds. But if you like this, definitely like, subscribe, and share. Don't be afraid to join my Discord server, and go ahead and follow my Twitch. You can find plenty of people to play with in my Discord server. I'm trying to grow right now. It's a bit small, but you know, things take time, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it more populated. I post in there often. I like to post my thoughts, definitely my fashion, my weapon rolls, my armor rolls, and stuff like that. So I hope to see you guys in there. Deuces.